So this is Paranoobal, sorry, I nearly got that wrong, Paranoobal Noobs. We're back, and this week we're at, where are we, Philip? I'm with Philip, my son. Where are we?
The Devil's Punch Hole in...
The Devil's Punchbowl.
Oh, Punchbowl.
Yes, the Devil's Punchbowl. Yeah, well done, Philip. That's a good. That's a good start. You can tell how this investigation is going to go. It's not dark yet, as you can see, but we've come across this. What do we think this is? I think it's the devil. I don't know what that thing is down there, but what do you think that is? What do you think it's supposed to be? You think it's the Minotaur?
Yeah, and that actually looks like a person that's scared underneath it.
It does. That's why I think it's the devil.
And it's sitting there like that.
But there's nothing. We're going to look this up, aren't we?
Yes.
I'm just going to get a bit of a footage of it, because it really is quite creepy. It has got, certainly it's got the face of the devil, and it's got horns, hasn't it? We don't really know much about the Devil's Punchbowl at the moment, so we thought it would be cool to come here and do this as like a third investigation. Let's just say to people, because it's not dark yet, what do we think, what do we know about this location? What is it we've come to look at? What was the bit of history you did find out? Yeah, you found out about in the 1700s, the guy in the pub
met some people and they killed him up here.
Yes, did you say he was a sailor?
Yeah, he was a sailor.
Good,
yeah.
There you go, so we do know.
Yeah.
So in the 1700s there was a sailor who met somebody in a pub, round here somewhere, and they lured him here, and we're actually going to look at, what is it, the place where a gibbet was.
Yeah.
And I think, historically, I'll have to make sure before I edit this video what a gibbet is, but I think, other people can correct me if they're watching this, I think a gibbet is where they displayed the executed body remains as a warning to other people of committing crimes.
Yeah.
So we're going to look at it. We thought this would be a pretty cool place to come. So, yes, we're going to have a look. I'm not going to film all our walking, I'm just going to film in sort of bits that are interesting. So, yep, we'll see you in a minute. So, this is the Devil's Punchbowl. Hopefully this video will do it justice. It really is. Philip, my son, is going to read out the legend in a minute, because we've come to the tablet that tells you about the legend of the Devil's Punchbowl. So you're going to read that, aren't you? Yes. On camera. But as you can see, if you look sort of down there, you've got this wonderful mist rising up. Right, come on then, Philip. Let's hear the legend while I'm getting a shot of it. You read me the legend.
It says, "Welcome to the Devil's Punchbowl. This sculpture of the landscape was commissioned by the Black Down and Hindhead supporters to commemorate 100 years of the National Trust at Hindhead, and has been crafted in bronze by local artist Mr. Malcolm Staffers. The Devil's Punchbowl itself was purchased for the National Trust through public donations from 1906 onwards. This extensive and spectacular landscape has been crafted through the natural processes of spring erosion over many thousands of years." The legend of the Devil's Punchbowl. Looking at the Devil's Punchbowl on a cold winter's morning, it's easy to imagine why local legend links its name to the devil reputed to have lived here.
Reputed
To have lived at the Devil's Jumps. 3 small hills near Churt, who lived in nearby Thursley by jumping from hill to hill. Thor, and on one occasion Thor is said to have been so enraged that he scooped up a handful of earth and hurled it at the devil, leaving the depression that remains today. Where the mist lies in the valley, it can give the appearance of a punch bowl, hence its name.
And there you go, and actually this is perfect, because I'm just going to go down here. So what is the sculpture of? What does it show? Does it show?
Does it?
Oh, it's the landscape. So let me get a shot of that. So I'm actually going to show you the bronze sculpture, which is pretty good actually. There you go. So is that
That's the whole entire place.
So that's the whole entire place. So this is where Thor reputedly... Is that right?
Yeah.
Right, so that's pretty good, isn't it? So if I come down here, if I just take people down here, just to show them the mist, because the mist is actually very eerie. You can see it rising up from the Devil's Punchbowl, and if I come down and then pan left, you can see the mist in the distance. Good, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah.
It's... What do you think?
Good place. I think it'll be very interesting.
So Philip, before we go and look for this place, let's just do one of our, because we don't use devices in this thing on our adventures. How do you feel right now? I mean, it's still daylight, but it's late, it's early evening. What's the time? It's gone 8 o'clock, hasn't it?
Yeah, I think...
And we're actually filming this
It's 9
over
o'clock.
Right, it's 9 o'clock, but it's the evenings are light because we're only at the start of June.
Yes.
And also it's the Queen's Jubilee weekend.
Yeah.
So really, I think there'd be more people about if it wasn't for that.
Yeah.
It's raining, but actually this is the perfect time for us to come here. What do we feel right now? Do we feel spooked by the area? What do we feel? What are we feeling? Because we went to Derring Woods last time, and that is genuinely terrifying. So what do we feel at the moment?
I feel fine. Obviously at night I reckon it's going to be completely different.
When it gets dark?
Yeah.
Yes. We've got our torches. Okay, so we're going to carry on walking, and we'll film again when there's something a bit more interesting. See you shortly. So, yes, right. So here's another view of the Devil's Punchbowl from a slightly different angle. You can see the mist over there rising up through the trees. Coming here on this Jubilee weekend, I think, was a good move. I think this place probably does attract an awful lot of people during the weekend and at other times. So I think this was a good choice to come here tonight. Unlike Pluckley, you can probably hear on this video, there's a lot of natural sounds, which is why it's so interesting to do different places and to come and explore different places, because as you know, the last video was really quite creepy. But here, there's bird song, there's all sorts of things. And here we are again, slightly different. We've changed location a bit. We're walking along the old A3 at the moment. I don't know if you can see in the distance the pockets of mist rising up there and just there. Very atmospheric. But they said the real creation of the Devil's Punchbowl was years of erosion, didn't they? Over decades,
Yeah.
centuries of erosion.
Yeah.
Yes. And we're actually walking on, I'm going to get a shot, just come back here, of the old A3. So this is actually the old A3, and apparently, what do we say, under this road is actually the tunnel that we drove through to get here.
Yeah.
So it's weird because I actually lived just off the A3, so this is the old A3, which I didn't even know existed, did you?
No.
So very interesting. So we're going to keep going. So we found a stone. I'm going to show you the Devil's Punchbowl again because it's quite spectacular. You can see all the mist rising there and all over. So Philip is now going to tell us what this stone represents. Tell us about it. It's called the Sailor's Stone. Tell us about it, Philip.
This stone commemorates the events of the 24th September 1786 when an unknown sailor travelling the old Portsmouth Road was murdered by 3 assailants. The sailor had befriended the men at the Red Lion Inn nearby Thursday, where they apparently had no money to buy food and drink. He bought them ale on a golden guinea,
Guinea.
Guinea.
Yeah.
He had received after his last trip, but his generosity was cruelly repaid. After leaving that alehouse, a sailor was set upon by the three men: Edward Longon, Michael Casey and James Marshall, who stripped him of his money and clothes and cut his throat. The men were arrested some hours later at the Sun Inn at Rake, just over the county boundary, where they were trying to sell his clothes. They were brought to Hazelmere on a long cart and questioned by local JP, the Reverend
That's
James,
Justice of the Peace.
James Fielding, allegedly himself a highwayman who found there was a case to answer. They were tried at Kingston Assizes some 6 months later.
Oh, in Kingston upon Thames, near where I live.
And sentenced to be hanged.
Oh, right. And where does it say about the gibbet bit?
They were hanged at the gibbet in chains and was set up on a hill.
Wow.
Near where the Celtic Cross stands.
And that's where we're going to look.
And it's 250 yards.
Okay. So this stone isn't his grave, is that right?
No, I think this is his grave.
Right. So let's get a shot.
This is where he was killed.
So this is the spot where he was killed.
And the next part.
Camera around. It says erected in dedication of a barbarous murder committed here on an unknown sailor on September the 24th, is it 1786, by Edward Longan. Was it Michael?
No idea. I can't
Look,
read
could be
that.
Cafe and something Jake Marshall, who were all taken the same day and hung in, was it Chan's?
I can't read.
Oh, and hung in chains near this place. And then there's a quotation down the bottle that says, down the bottom, who says, that's it, good. Whoever doth something blood, by blood shall be bled. That's what it says, basically. So whoever murders will be themselves murdered, yes?
Yeah.
See the back of this stone. This stone, hang on, was erected AD 1786 by James Stilwell, Esquire of Cosford, and was renovated September the 24th, 1889 by John Russell Stilwell, Esquire of Killing Church something, descendant of the aforementioned or something. So if you can just light that up again from the side without getting on camera. Shall I give you another torch? There's two. There's a second one. That's good. Good. So there we go. Good. So let's have a look at the other side of the stone. Now we've shown people, because what's round here? Okay, it said, see the back of the stone. Right, see if we can, the stone. This stone, it says, this stone was erected at the cost of James Stilwell, Esquire of Cosford, 1786.
Good job you can read that, so.
Yes, it's in, you know, it's been, all this chiselling was done a long time ago.
Yeah.
So what do we think?
Very interesting.
Yes? Mind out of the way. Mind out of the way. That's it. Good lad. Let's just get another shot of the stone. If you can just light it up just once more for me. Just get a good shot. Can you make the beam just a bit wider so we just get the whole picture in? Good. Camera back like that. And then we'll get another view. Oh, it's getting dark now. So it's going to get creepier. Now we're going to actually go up and look at the gibbet, aren't we?
Yeah.
So here we go then, Philip. Right, so it is getting dusk now, isn't it, Philip? When I'm filming this, but I don't know if you can see, I don't know if it's going to come out on the camera, but you can see down there, you can see all the mist coming up, terribly atmospheric. What do we feel at the moment, Philip? Would you say, because it's certainly getting dusk now, so we're heading towards dark. We're looking for this gibbet, aren't we? Yeah. Where the men's bodies were put on public display to deter other people from committing crimes. What do you say? What do you say now that it's started to? It's not dark yet. What do you feel at the moment? Do you feel unnerved?
Oh, it's still all right. It's still all right.
Okay. Yeah, I'm starting to feel as if this could be creepy when it gets dark, but we'll see, won't we?
Yeah.
I think walking along that road, the old A3 that we've come across, that was really quite eerie. Would you agree?
Correct. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. But as you can see, the mist rising up in the distance.
The interesting feelings are going to come back going back.
Yes, it will. Walking along back there. Maybe I'll video the walk back. So we're going to find the gibbet and we'll be back in a minute. Right, so we found a fascinating board which tells us it's called the Celtic Cross, and I'm going to get Philip to read it out, but if you look you can see the picture of how a gibbet actually looked.
They're actually all strapped up in a harness now.
Yes, that's right, the dead body. So go on, you read it out to us and tell us about it.
Criminals were hanged on the gibbet and their tarred bodies left to swing and clanking irons until they rotted. Most famous of these were 3 men executed near here in 1787 for murdering an anonymous sailor. His story is told on a nearby sailor's stone, which we visited a minute ago.
Yep.
230 metres southwest of this spot, beside the old Portsmouth Road, and his body now rests in Thursley churchyard, so they've moved his body.
Oh, right.
A sketch by the artist JMW Turner RA in 1807 clearly shows a gibbet on the summit. The wooden upright was apparently still standing here in 1827. It is not surprising that the place had a reputation for being haunted, and in 1851 Sir William Airy of Bramshot Grange had this granite Celtic cross erected near the site to try to dispel the fears of the local residents. Ah,
so he had this cross erected as a religious symbol.
Yeah.
That's interesting. So we're Paranoobal Noobs, aren't we? That's the name of us. So we're now going to have a look at this Celtic cross. So I'm going to go around this way. I'm going to turn away just so I don't get Philip on. That's it. And let's go and have a look. And the cross is here. So this is where the gibbet. So picture the body, tarred, 3 of them.
Yeah.
It's really quite creepy. So I don't know. Is this place haunted by their spirits, or has the Celtic cross, has this religious symbol, quietened it down? We're going to sort of stay here for a bit, are we?
Yeah.
Yes, because so as you can see, we're lighting up this cross. So
there's writing.
Yes, it was a clever thing to do. Let me just get a proper shot of it first. It was a clever thing to do. So as a religious symbol, it was put here. There's writing on it. Let's go and have a look, Philip. Yes, there's a bat. Yes, we've got bats here as well. We're joined by bats, and it says, I think it's Latin, post tenebus lux. I don't speak Latin, so if anybody does, yes, I think that's the date.
No, it says we mid-cell, MIDC something.
No, that's a date in Latin.
Oh, really?
So it's MDCCCL, I think. Yes? So that's the date. It's got a symbol on it, Celtic symbol. It says, I think I've pronounced that right. I hope I have. Oh, I think that's, no, I think it is is that a B or an R? Is it two B's? Post tenebus lux.
TEMN.
So, could you hold my the case that's under my arm, please? Thank you very much. Right, so I'm just going to come back a bit. You keep out of the way. So, oh yes, and it says here, luce, I don't know, spes. It's Latin. That's it might be Latin. It might be Celtic. I don't know. Somebody who knows more about these things can tell us. So now we're here, and people can start to see it. Really is starting to get dark now. What do we feel? Because this is the site of where their bodies were displayed on the gibbet. What do we feel?
Right now, it's just normal, isn't it?
You don't feel particularly creeped out?
No. When it starts getting darker.
Yes. So shall we let it get a bit darker and come back on in a minute?
Yeah.
Yes? Right, so we'll see you in a minute. Right, so having said this isn't creepy, we've just sort of come down this quite tricky path, which I'm going to show you, which just goes on and on and on there. We're not going to walk too far because it's so slippery. But what do we feel about this bit? Yes, it has. Just going to light up some of the bits here. Let's see, good. Is that good? You can hear the rain. Yes, it's suddenly gone a bit different, hasn't it? Could you just adjust the beam on the end? Just turn it just so it's a little bit wider. Just so people get better. That's it, good. That's it. Yes. You can hear music because this is the Jubilee weekend, the Queen's Jubilee, isn't it? So there are people partying, presumably in houses in the distance. But it's suddenly going, the atmosphere's changed. It's darker, it's interesting. Right, shall we wander back a bit? Shall I go first? Mind these tree roots, as they're looser. Lots of tree roots. We do come up against a lot of tree roots, don't we? So it's interesting how a place can change literally in about half an hour. isn't it? Don't you feel? So, I'm going to go back. We are trying to get braver as these videos go on, hopefully. It's much about challenging our own fears, isn't it? Yeah. Rather than just, you know, becoming hysterical. I'm just going to film down there. You can see it's not quite dark, but it's certainly headed that way. Right, let's go back to the gate. That's creepy. Yes. Right, should we go through the gate? Go on, you open it. That's it. And then mind out the way anyway. That's it, well done. Good, well done, well done. Perfect. So here we go. Back up to the Celtic Cross. That's my breath you can see on the camera. It's raining, but it's not too bad, is it? It's not, you know, rain as in. So here we are, back up to the cross again. So what do we feel here now? Because it's still not quite dark, is it?
Getting creepy.
Shall we stay here just for a bit longer, just to see what happens when it gets darker? Yeah. Yes? You sure? Yeah. Yep. Alright, we'll be back in a minute. You can hear the whistling.
That was a bird.
No, I don't think it was. I think it was a dog walker.
It was a bird.
Right, just quiet a minute, because I just want to see if we can hear that thumping. No, that's a human.
That's a bird.
I can hear that. Is it thunder in the distance?
I bloody hope not.
Alright, do you want to start walking back?
Yeah, I think so.
Yes? You sure?
Yeah.
I can hear that. Can you hear it?
Yeah, that's full on pumping.
It's in the distance. You just get that on Can you hear it?
That's a colossal bolt.
It's off in the distance. I don't know if the camera's picking this up. I'll have to enlarge. I'll have to, you know, turn up the sound on my iMac. Yeah. Just quiet for a minute. Oh yes, look, it's fireworks. Can you see them in the distance?
Yeah.
Because it is the Queen's Jubilee. Let's just see if we can capture any on camera.
That's a distance away then.
That is, isn't it? Yeah, because it's the Jubilee when we're filming this. It's the end of the Jubilee actually. It's the Sunday, isn't it? Look at that. There it is in the distance. So do we feel this is creepy now?
Yeah, it's not wrong.
It is, isn't it? Hmm?
Yeah.
Do we think we've been brave?
Yeah.
Right, shall I video the walk back?
Yeah, you want to.
We'll have to talk as we're walking, yes? You all right?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay, so we're going to start to walk back. I'm going to sort of video. There was a whistling sound, but we weren't sure what that was really. You said it was a bird, didn't you?
Definitely a bird.
Okay. I thought it was a person. It sounded to me like a dog walker. Right, which way are we going?
I don't know, is that going to be alright in the rain then?
What? Yes, well I'll film this bit and then I'll turn it on again in a minute when we get back to the old A3. I'll stop it just for a moment. Right, it's pouring with rain and we're headed back. But this is the old A3, but look how scary this is. Have a look at that on camera. Just have a look.
Yeah.
Oh, look at that. Try and light my way, yes. So we're going to walk back. This is the old A3. Yes, it does feel different now, doesn't it?
Absolutely pissing me.
Yes, and it's dark, isn't it?
Yeah.
You can see the rain on the camera, look. You can actually see the rain coming down. Look at that.
Yeah.
Ooh. So yes, I think, what do we think of this little trip?
It was very interesting.
Yes? Enjoyed it?
Yeah.
I think we got here at the right time, because if we'd have come here a bit later, this would have been horrendous, wouldn't it?
Right.
And as you can see on camera, it is very, very wet now, isn't it?
Very, very
It's been trying to rain heavily all day, hasn't it?
all that.
We'll just film this bit because it's so wonderfully atmospheric. On camera, this looks like it could be the start of one of those old 1970s Hammer horror films. Oh, let's just have mind out. Just remember, let's just have a look at this in the rain. Oh, look at that. That's wonderful, isn't it?
Yeah.
Very atmospheric. Come on then. Well, let's head back. Can you see the mist as well?
Yeah.
If you look on camera, look at the mist.
Hot.
Yeah. So this is the old A3. I like this. This is fun. Oh, you can imagine the old titles of the old Hammer horror films coming up over this opening shot as the mist rolls in. And that doesn't mean anything to Philip's age group, because Philip is way too young to have been a fan of Hammer horror, but I am. You don't know what I'm talking about, do you?
Nope.
Nope, the old Hammer horror films. This is like the opening of one of those sorts of films. Ooh, look at that. Oh, it's absolutely teeming, isn't it?
Yeah.
Very atmospheric, isn't it? Eh?
Finding our way back now.
Yeah. Yes, I will switch the camera off in a minute. I just wanted to give you guys a little glimpse of what it's like here. Oh. It's been really interesting, hasn't it?
Yeah, very.
So hopefully you'll enjoy this video. I'll edit it together with all the interesting bits, the historical bits, and we hope you join us. We're going to try and do a mixture, we've decided, of we are going to do some of the locations, aren't we, that other people have been to?
Yeah.
Just to say we've done it. But we're also going to do what we hope is more original places as well as we go along. But we will do some of the ones like Cannock Chase and
Yeah.
what do you call it? Cannock Chase, what did I say the other place was called? Sherwood Forest. Because we have to have a go at that, don't we?
Yeah.
To say we've done it.
Yeah.
Yes? It's part of our adventures. So we hope you've enjoyed this, don't we? So from Philip and I, what are we going to say to the people till next time?
Bye bye. See you next time.
Yep, bye bye and see you next time. Take good care. Bye for now. Bye. Okay, so go on. What do you think this represents? Tell me on
I
camera.
think it's the devil hiding behind the
Ah,
cross.
he's holding the Celtic Cross.
Yeah, and he's
that-
stoning it.
Yes.
He's got a stone in there.
Oh, right. Oh, that's fascinating, isn't it? So that presumably he doesn't like the Celtic Cross,
Yeah.
does he?
No.
That's interesting. So give me a torch. Let's go around the other side. That's interesting. So he's almost... What do we think he's doing with the Celtic Cross? Do we think he's sort of trying to get rid of it, or...
Yes, if you look at his face, he's trying to avoid looking at it.
Yes, because it's a religious symbol.
Yeah.
And the devil is... Yeah, not that way inclined, is he?
No.
Let's just get a shot of the other side. It's quite eerie in the dark, isn't it?
Yeah.
If we hadn't seen this earlier, I might have actually been...
Yeah, he's trying to take his face away from it.
Oh yes, look at that. As a religious symbol.
Yeah.
Right, it's pouring. We just thought we'd show you that in the dark. Creepy.